Hello students, welcome back to the economics class of plus 2 standard. We were working with lesson number 12, money and banking. Yesterday we have discussed the topic commercial bank and its functions. Today we will discuss the topic central bank and its functions. Let us discuss some important key terms related to this topic. CRR, cash reserve ratio. SLR, statutory liquidity ratio. Bank rate, monetization of budget deficit or deficit financing. Cash reserve ratio. Suppose HDFC Bank has a total deposit from its customer worth rupees 1000 and it has to maintain 5% as a CRR with the RBI. That is, HDFC Bank will deposit 50 rupees as a CRR with the RBI, and the RBI will not give any interest on this kind of deposit. Rather, RBI will help to the HDFC Bank or the commercial banks in case of financial crisis. So, cash reserve ratio, that is CRR, refers to that proportion of their time and demand deposits that commercial banks are required to keep in cash with the Reserve Bank of India. Current CRR is 3%. Time deposits like fixed deposits and recurring deposits. Demand deposits like current deposits or current accounts. Next one is statutory liquidity ratio, SLR. Suppose RBI has set a limit for the statutory liquidity ratio, it is 20%. Means if HDFC Bank has a total deposits worth rupees 1000 with it, it has to maintain as a liquid assets 20% of the total cash. That is, it will set 200 rupees as a liquid assets with it, and rest it can be used for other purposes. Every scheduled commercial bank in India is required to maintain a minimum proportion of their net demand and time liabilities as liquid assets in cash or in gold valued at a price not exceeding the current market price. Maximum limit of statutory liquidity ratio is 40%, and the current statutory liquidity ratio rate in India is 18.25% right now. Bank rate. Bank rate, it is the rate, lending rate decided by the central bank for the commercial banks. That is known as bank rate. And the further commercial banks decides the rate to lend to the public, that is known as base rate. Suppose I have to borrow from the commercial bank rupees 10,000 and the commercial bank is charging 10% rate of interest. So that 10% it is known as the bank rate or base rate. So bank rate is the rate of interest charged by the central bank to the commercial bank while advancing money against securities. Securities can be in a gold form or any other valuable assets or the government approved securities, jewelry, any kind of registry it is there. Next one is monetization of budget deficit or deficit financing. When central government expenditure like making of building up of roads, dams, flyovers, bridges, and expenditure on the subsidies that is provided to the common public, like for LPG cylinders are there, and for the raw material, cheaper raw material availability to the industries also there. These are the central government expenditure. When central government expenditure exceeds its revenue and the government is unable to reduce its expenditure, then it borrow from the central bank. This is done by selling security bills to the central bank, which creates new currency when required. This is called monetization of budget deficit or deficit financing. Next one is central bank, an apex institution in the banking and financial structure of a country. It plays a leading role in controlling, regulating, supervising and developing the banking and financial structure of the economy. Almost all the countries in the world have their central bank. Bank of England, the Federal Reserve System in USA, Bank of France. Necessity of central bank. Central banks are necessary for the following reasons. Monetary system requires management. Paper standard, which is widely adopted in every country, has to be directed by some central authority like central bank. There has been vast expansion of commerce and international trade. Somebody must be there to exercise its control on the credit expansion or contraction activities of the commercial banks. When there is inflationary conditions in the economy, at that time central bank advises to the commercial banks that charge higher rate of interest on the lendings in order to control the inflationary conditions, and this function can be performed most efficiently by the central bank of the country. All the modern economies are aimed at achieving the twin objective of full employment and price stability. Full employment means that optimum utilization of the resources when the equilibrium prevails in the economy. When the aggregate demand it is equals to aggregate supply and all the resources are fully utilized, that is known as full employment. Like 100 laborers are there and all are doing job. Sound monetary policy directed by a central bank is highly needed. Distinction between central bank and commercial banks. First one is meaning of the central bank. Apex institution of monetary and banking structure of the country. Commercial banks, it deals with the money and credit for the purposes of earning profit. Earning profit means that commercial banks, while lending to the borrowers, charge high rate of interest, and while giving the interest on their deposits, it will give the lesser rate of interest. Regulates the entire economic system of the country, central bank, and the commercial banks operate under the guidelines of the central bank. Objective: non-profit making institution, acts in public interest, while the main objective of the commercial banks is to earn profit. Ownership: generally a government owned institution, while the commercial banks may be private owned or government owned institutions. Number: only one central bank with a few offices in the country, while number of commercial banks with large number of branches in the country. Note issue: central bank has a sole monopoly over note issue. Commercial bank cannot issue notes, it can create credit only. Banker: a banker of the government and commercial bank, means it helps to the government or the commercial bank in case of any kind of financial crisis. Provides useful services to their customers and directly deal with the public, while the central bank does not directly deal with the public. Next one is functions of central bank. Issue of currency notes. The central bank enjoys the sole monopoly of issuing currency notes in order to secure control over volume of currency and credit. That is why it is sometimes called bank of issue. Notes circulate in the country as legal tender money. The central bank has to keep assets of equal value as a reserves in the form of gold, foreign securities, government securities. The country's central government is usually authorized to borrow money from the central bank. Next one is when central government expenditure exceeds its revenue and the government is unable to reduce its expenditure, then it borrow from the central bank. Central government expenditures like building up of roads, dams, flyover, bridges and subsidies given to the public and the firms also, to the firms for providing raw materials at a cheaper rates, and for the public like subsidized cylinders, LPG cylinders are there, and petroleum also. This is done by selling security bills to the central bank, which creates new currency when required. This is called monetization of budget deficit or deficit financing. The government spends new currency and puts it into circulation to meet its expenditure. Like any other central bank, the Reserve Bank of India has the sole right to issue currency notes. Monopoly right for note issue reason brings uniformity to note issue, easier to control credit when there is a single agency of note issue, keeps the public faith in paper currency, helps in the stabilization of the internal and external value of the currency. Banker, fiscal agent and advisor to the government. The central bank everywhere in the world act as a banker or the fiscal agent and advisor to its respective government. As a banker, it carries out all banking business of the government. Government keeps their cash balances in the current account with the bank, accepts receipts and makes payment on behalf of the government, advances short-term loans to the government, buys and sells foreign currencies on behalf of the government. As a fiscal agent, the central bank performs the following functions. First one is it manages the public debt. Second one is collects the taxes and other payments on behalf of the government, represents the government in the international financial institutions such as World Bank and International Monetary Fund IMF as advisor. Central bank also acts as financial advisor to the government. It gives advice to the government on all financial and economic matters such as deficit financing, devaluation of currency, trade policy, foreign exchange policy. Bankers to the banks. It acts as a guardian for commercial banks. Commercial banks are required to keep a part of their net demand and time deposits with the central bank in the form of cash. This is known as cash reserve ratio. Commercial banks need to hold small cash reserves. Banks get financial accommodation in the times of financial crisis. Central bank find an opportunity to exercise its control over the banking system of the country. Next one is central bank acts as a lender of last resort. If a commercial bank faced with the financial crisis, the only institution come to rescue the commercial bank is the central bank. Commercial banks can get their trade bills discounted. As a custodian of cash reserves, central bank acts as the clearing house of the commercial bank. All commercial banks have their accounts with central banks. Central bank can easily settle the claims of various banks against each other simply by book entries of transfer from and to their accounts. This method of setting accounts is called clearing house function of the central bank. Bankers to the banks. Central bank supervises, regulates and controls the commercial banks. The regulation of the banks may be related to their licensing, branch expansion, liquidity of assets, management, amalgamation means merging of banks, and liquidation means winding up of the banks. The control is exercised by periodic inspection of banks and the returns filed by them. In India, the RBI has been vested with the extensive powers to control the banks under the Reserve Bank of India Act 1934 and the Banking Regulation Act 1949. Custodian of the nation's foreign exchange reserves. All the foreign exchange transactions of a country, both receipts and payments of foreign exchange are controlled by the central bank. Central bank tries to maintain stability of exchange rate. Foreign exchange rate means the value of our country's currency, that is rupees, against the dollar. Like $1 it is equals to 70 rupees. This is known as exchange rate, foreign exchange rate. For this purpose, it buys and sells the foreign currencies in the market to minimize fluctuations in the foreign exchange rates. It enforces exchange control regulations prescribed by the government from time to time. In India, the RBI is required to stabilize the external value of rupee. External value of rupee means exchange of rupees against dollars. Like $1 it is equals to 70 rupees. It is obligatory for the bank to buy and sell currencies of all the members of IMF, that is International Monetary Fund. Central bank always functions in the interests of the country as a whole. Controller of money supply and credit. Instruments used by the central bank to control money supply in the economy, that is quantitative instrument. First one is bank rate policy, the rate at which the central bank lends money to the commercial banks, that is known as bank rate. The effect of change in the bank rate is to change the cost of securing funds from the central bank. A low bank rate encourages the banks to keep small proportion of their deposits as reserves, since borrowing from the central bank is now less costly than before. As a result, banks use a greater proportion of their funds for giving out loans to the borrowers or investors. During deflation, bank rates are low. Deflation means when aggregate demand in the economy it is lesser, then in order to appreciate the aggregate demand, the banks will charge lesser rate of interest on lendings, so that investment in the industries can be appreciated, and with the appreciation of the investment there is increase in the income and output level, and people start spending more in the markets, so aggregate demand it is appreciated with the help of lowering of the bank rates. During inflation, bank rates are high because under this condition production of goods and services it is lesser in the economy and the money supply in the economy it is higher, due to which higher prices are set up in the economy for the commodities. So during inflation, bank rates are high, which reduces the flow of credit. Next one is open market operations. Open market operations refers to buying and selling of the government securities by the central bank from or to the public and banks. When central bank buys securities, it adds cash balances in the economy and vice versa. When the central bank buys securities means paper it is in the hands of the central bank and money it is in the hands of the commercial banks. So cash balances are the high powered money on the basis of which commercial banks create credit. Due to higher money in the hands of the commercial banks, now the commercial banks will charge lesser rate of interest on the lendings. If cash balances are increased in the economy, there will be more deposits with commercial banks and hence more flow of credit and vice versa. Controller of money supply and credit, cash reserve ratio. CRR is a powerful instrument to control credit and lending powers of the banks. So under this, a certain fixed amount of the total deposits of the banks needs to be kept as a cash with the central bank. The fixed percentage of cash is termed as CRR. A change in the cash reserve ratio affects the lending powers of the banks. If CRR increases, banks would be required to keep extra money in the form of cash. This reduces the amount of money that is available for lending. When the flow of credit is to be reduced, CRR is raised, and when the credit it is expanded, it means CRR is reduced. By varying SLR, statutory liquidity ratio, every bank is required to maintain a fixed percentage of net demand and time deposits in the form of cash and other liquid assets with itself. SLR is maintained in the form of designated liquid assets such as excess reserves, unencumbered and other approved securities, and current account balances with other banks. It is called SLR. If the SLR, that is statutory liquidity ratio, is raised by higher percentage of deposits would need to be kept as SLR, thereby reducing the amount of credit that banks can extend to the public. Similarly, if SLR requirement is lowered, the percentage of deposits that needs to be maintained as SLR, that will be reduced. Next one is qualitative instruments. Regulation of margin requirements. Margin requirements refers to the difference between the amount of loan granted and the value of security that bank asks for loan. Suppose I have to take a loan from the banks and I am having a jewelry worth rupees 10 lakh. By keeping the 20% with it, the banks will provide me the loan worth rupees 8 lakhs. So 2 lakhs it is the margin that is set by the RBI, Reserve Bank of India, as a security. So moral suasion, next one is, refers to the oral or written appeal made by the country's central bank to its member banks, that is commercial banks, to either increase or reduce money supply in the economy by changing the rate of interest. The advice of the central bank is followed by the commercial banks. Selective credit control. These can be used in both a positive as well as a negative manner. In a positive manner, measures can be used to encourage credit to the particular sector, usually the priority sector. and in negative manner, measures can be used to restrict the flow of credit to a particular sector such as speculation. Like central bank advises to the commercial banks that give the loans to the productive sectors like agriculture sector or the industrial sector, and don't give the loans for the speculation purposes like hoarding of the things. Direct action refers to all the controls and directions which a central bank may enforce on commercial banks to regulate their lending and investment activities. Direct action may include the following measures. First one is to refuse rediscounting of bills of commercial banks, to refuse loans, to impose monetary penalties, derecognition of commercial bank, to allow the banks to conduct banking business. Difference between qualitative and quantitative methods of credit control. Quantitative methods. These methods influence the total volume and cost of credit without differentiating between essential and non-essential uses of credit, while qualitative methods are discriminatory in sense that they differentiate between essential and non-essential uses of credit. Quantitative methods are mostly indirect and impersonal, while the qualitative methods are mostly direct. Quantitative methods affect the lenders only, and qualitative methods affect both lenders and borrowers. These are traditional methods of credit control, which include bank rate, open market operations, and variable reserve ratio, while the qualitative methods are selective methods of credit control and include regulation of margin requirements, moral suasion, and direct action. Hope students you all have understood the topic. Now it's time to note down the homework. Question number 1 is define the following terms: cash reserve ratio CRR, SLR statutory liquidity ratio, bank rate, monetization of budget deficit or deficit financing. Question number 2 is enlist and explain the functions of central bank. Third question is differentiate between the central bank and commercial banks. Question number 4 is differentiate between qualitative and quantitative methods of credit control. And students, please go through the links on the YouTube for more clarity, and hope you all will complete your notes in your fair copies for better learning. Thank you for listening.